Not entirely.
So yeah, I should just like tell in the past what I've done is I've like passed this out and then like I've waited like a week and then I've just like kind of told everyone in class like how to do this.
Yeah. So
Um,
my idea was to make a system where like just R is like Y loves X or not.
yeah,
So and I just said like three people
yeah,
for simplicity. So I have so the way that I understand these two is that the first one says that for um there exists some person
hmm
such that um if anyone loves them, then they love themselves. Then the other
yeah,
person loves themselves.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a special person such that everyone
Oh wait,
loves
actually, you know what? Well, you know what might have been. I think I switched the order of the existential and all in my head. That actually makes sense. Okay, yeah, no, no. But let's continue talking. Let's continue talking. Yeah.
yeah. So if you want to make a model, one example of a model in which A is true would be one in which there are two people and like maybe call them like 0 and 1 or something because I already have an A and a B on my page, and then like if everyone just loves everyone then I think that just automatically works, for example. Right. um
Yeah.
okay, so like it's actually just really easy to find. I mean, because here you know any R statement is just true, so just everything's true.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
think you can even get by with like a single item who just loves himself.
Yep.
That's a model. So this is a model. This is a model. There are also models in which, if you want to have some people not loving each other, then I think the model in which just there are two people and no one loves anyone is a model.
Yeah.
There's also, because now these will be, you always get false. Then there's a model in which you could do more exciting interpretations. Like maybe now 0 is the one that has this property, but 1 does love 0 and himself. So loving 0 means loving yourself. You love 0 if and only if you love yourself. But 0 doesn't love himself. And I
But that
think,
doesn't matter. Like that doesn't actually matter
what
in
do you
the
mean doesn't matter?
like the
No.
this model already satisfies it because we have a
Yeah,
person.
any one. I mean, these are three different models. I mean, any one of these would have been a good answer to A.
Oh wait, for all Y. So then we do have to consider zero. Never mind.
Yeah, we do have to consider 0. Yeah.
Yeah. But then
Um,
it still works
hold on.
because yeah, because RYY is biconditional with RYY just automatically. Or
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
RXX. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I would say it right. If if 0 loves this is sort of saying now two things, right? 0 doesn't love 0, but 0 also doesn't love 0, right? So for 0, wait, that didn't make any sense. X should be 0. So now we just have to check both Y's, right? Well, when Y is 0, automatically, but when Y is 1, well, now for when Y is 1, it's true, biconditional, true, and when Y is 0, it's true, biconditional, it's false, biconditional, false.
Yep.
And I guess it's irrelevant whether 0 loves 1. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that means there would be even another model in which you in which 0 does love 1, because whether or not 0 loves 1 is sort of irrelevant to the truth of A. And then of
Mhm.
course there's also the model in which there's only one thing and he doesn't love himself. So actually the fact that these two are both kind of like models, and sort of the fact that this works and this works, and that we didn't kind of care whether 0 loved 1, is kind of an indication, almost it's giving us a hint that like two people was too much in my domain. It was unnecessary for there to really be two people, because somehow like there was some irrelevancy or something. There was some like redundancy built. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so good. If you already got this far, it means that you
Yeah.
understand the gist of the lesson.
Yeah.
Now it's
But I
just,
did misunderstand. Like as I said, I switched the order. Like I said, for all y there exists an x. So
yeah.
instead of saying so that's just wrong. That's I think that was my big thing. But let's
Okay.
gotta continue though.
So now,
And I took a screenshot, so we're all good.
good. Okay, well, I think I have enough space here. So now B is a lot harder to interpret, I think, because we have now 3 quantifiers. So let's see. What does B say? For everyone, there's someone such,
This already gets hard.
such that, so for every single person X, there is a nemesis Y, where the nemesis is relative to X. And what property does this nemesis have? The nemesis has the property that everyone, if they love the nemesis, then they don't love you.
Okay.
And conversely, if they don't love the nemesis, then they do love you. So I don't know why I said nemesis. I think I just must remember this problem from some previous year. But nemesis.
No,
is exactly,
nemesis actually makes sense because it's like they're kind of stealing, like your.
But only after I talked that out did I realize that nemesis was definitely the right word, right? Because that's what Y is. With respect to a certain X, Y is someone such that every other person Z has the opposite relationship with X and Y.
Yeah.
If Z R's Y, then Z doesn't R X, and vice versa. So if you think of R as loves, then okay, that's what it's saying. Follow?
Yeah.
Okay. So now it gets complicated because, of course, X and Y are also people. So it has to work for them too. And so you get these weird situations where, like, are you, your own nemesis or like whatever. So now I think, I mean, I don't, it's more than think. I just remember that I think I can't get by with just one thing anymore. Because if I have a domain with just one number, one object, then I have to be my own nemesis. But actually, you can't be your own nemesis because you have to disagree with your nemesis about every single person, including yourself. So, get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means I'm gonna automatically need at least 2 elements in this domain, and that 2 is probably enough, right? And I think once again we're gonna have a lot of different models because this is kind of a cute little thing. I should make a video on this probably. Because
maybe you can take this recording.
Ooh, good call. Do you mind being featured prominently on it?
I'm okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. We are recording this for extraction, for posting on YouTube, for help on this packet. Right. Well, here we go. So what are the options? Let me just kind of draw. I think there's going to be 4, but I might be wrong. Maybe there's only like 2 or something if we have 2 people only. So, well, one option is, so in each case, you have these 2 people that are nemesis of each other. Well, does 0 love himself? I guess 0 could love himself, but if 0 loves himself, then that means that 0's nemesis, 1, doesn't love 0, right? Because they always have opposite opinions on every person. And then another option would be that 1 could love himself and 0 could not love him. So this is like 2 people stranded on an island. They hate each other, but they love themselves. Mm-hmm. Cool. You could also have a situation in which 0 could hate himself, but if 0 hates himself, interestingly, then 0's nemesis loves 0. Whoa. So this is a weird interpretation of nemesis in which if you hate yourself, then your enemy who feels differently about every single other, no, your,
No.
if you hate yourself, let me say this correctly. If you hate yourself, then your nemesis is a person for which everyone else has the opposite opinion. But if you, since you hate yourself, then you actually, wait, I'm confusing myself. If you hate yourself, then you must love your nemesis. Yeah, because you are one of the people who is subject to the opinion that you have to feel oppositely about these two people. Wait, so I think I messed up this arrow. I actually am confusing myself now. If 0 hates himself, then 0 must love 1. I think now that's right. If 0 hates himself,
Yeah.
0 must love 1, because everyone, including 0, I'm now setting z equal to 0. So since x and z are both 0 and y is 1, if x is 0, y is 1, and z is 0, then that means that since 0, that 0's opinion of 0 and 1 must be opposite.
Yeah.
0's opinion and 0 and 1 must be opposite. So I was a little bit messing up that explanation, but now it's right. Since 0 hates himself, 0 must love 1. Yeah.
And then could we check the 1 case? Is
And
0
1 could also say hate himself and love 0, and it would be the exact same thing. It's all symmetrical, I guess, right? Is that true? Because if 1 hates himself, then 1, since 1 and 0 are nemeses, then since 1 hates himself, 1 must love 0. Wait, I think everything I'm saying is right, but I'm saying it with low confidence and possibly bad English explanations.
Yeah. So like x equals 1, y equals 0, and then z equals 1 again.
No, I'm still setting x equal to 0. No, you're right. I'm setting y. I am setting.
We're checking the other case now. Checking the other, because it has to be for all x. So now we're checking x equals 1.
Yeah. So do you see how it's like, if there are like a lot suddenly, like there are like 8 cases or something to consider, even though the model is only 2, because you could assign the variables all to each other. So wait, hold on. Let me tighten up my brain a little bit here and not say anything wrong, since we're recording this and stuff. If x is 0, y is 1, and z is 0, let's just check that this model works. Well, I guess it just does, right? Because now 0, 1, if and only if, not 0, 0. And that's just true. 0 loves 1, 0 doesn't love 0. Okay, and then I guess there are like a full 8 things to check. If they're like all 0, though, whenever x and z are the same, it becomes...
No, y can be, you can choose y to make it work. X and z have to be for all pairs.
X and z are always the same? No.
No. So it's like...
wait, let's just mindlessly do another one, right? If x is 0... and I see. The y that exists for 0 is 1. Yeah, I'm just doing a terrible job here. It's not that there are 8 cases. It's that in fact, like if x is 0, like it's kind of like a set y equal to 1.
Yeah.
And if x is 1, set y equal to 0.
Yeah, that's the case that I want to check.
Okay, so there are really, and then within those there is the case where z is 1.
Yeah.
It just works when z is 1, right? Because when z is 1 now, so now it's when x is 0 and y is 1. What happens if z is 1? Well, now you're basically saying 1
does not love themselves, so 1 has to love 0. Yep, that works.
And then, okay, it's the other way. It's just got to be the same, right? Everything's just the same. Now, because the model's completely symmetrical, so I don't think I even need to check it. Okay, good. So now, I don't think I want to go through the tedium of this, but there are some other hilarious ones. Like you can suppose now 0 and 1 are nemeses, but I guess you can. So 0 and 1 have the relationship that everyone feels differently about them. That's what's going on, right? For every single person, they have different opinions about 0 and 1. So 1 could love himself. 0 could love himself, but as soon as 0 loves himself, then 1 can't love 0 anymore.
Yeah, and 0 can't be their own nemesis. That just doesn't work. Because we showed that already.
I think 0 could love 1. Is that true? I feel like that's true. 0 could love both of them, and 1. So 0 is the all-loving person, and 1 is the I hate everyone person. And I think this now works, right? Because 0 and 1 now, everyone, such as 0, feels differently about. No, this is just wrong. Is this right?
Yeah, because like who is the nemesis of 0?
Yeah, this is just wrong. Because this would not be a model, because 0 feels the same about 0 and 1. That can't be.
Wait.
In order for
so wait, if we set x equal to 0, oh my god.
This is like harder than I like thought, but it's wait, I wonder what the one is that I did on my own paper. I guess I just did this one. These might be the only 2 models, because everyone has to feel differently about X and Y. That's just a fact. So then it means that 0 and 1 have to feel differently about each of them. Mm-hmm. And so if you tried to make another model, I'm not sure that other models are possible, because with only two objects in the domain, because 0 is a person, so 0 has to feel differently about 0 and 1. If 0 has to feel differently about 0 and 1, then we can say, okay, well, does 0 love himself or not? If 0 loves himself, then it's determined that 0 doesn't love 1. And if 0 doesn't love himself, it's determined that he loves 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then, so I guess maybe there is another model. We're spending way too much time on this, but maybe this is how much it deserves. So I guess 0 could love himself, at which point we now know everyone, including 0, must feel differently about 0 and 1. So since 0 loves 0, 0 doesn't love 1. But I guess I'm free to decide how 1 feels about things, maybe. Could 1 love 0? Could that be a model?
So 0 is 1's nemesis. So then, let's check. I'm just gonna turn out the cases.
I guess, let's just talk about it at high level, because I think everyone feels differently about 0 and 1. So 1 hates himself but loves 0. Check. Yeah, that works. This is another model. I did think that there were 4.
And then the other one is just like when 1 loves themselves.
Yeah,
and
wait.
0 loves 1.
Before we embarrass ourselves, are we 100% sure that this is right?
I'm checking real quick.
0 and 1 are nemesis. Everyone has a different opinion about these 2. So 0 has a different opinion of 0 and 1. Specifically, 0 likes 0 and doesn't like 1. Everyone has a different opinion about 1. Specifically, no, maybe this is not a model.
No, I think it's right. Wait, 1 second. I think it is right.
Everyone has a different opinion about 0 and 1.
Yeah, I think it's right.
Everyone has a different opinion about 0 and 1. 0 has a different opinion because 0 loves 0 and doesn't like 1.
Yeah.
1 has a different opinion about 1 because everyone has a different opinion about. Take any person, they have to feel oppositely about 0 and 1.
Yeah, exactly. About the pairs of
0
nemesis.
loves himself and hates 1. 1 hates himself and loves 0. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Okay, that took
Yeah.
an embarrassingly long amount of time, or I'm embarrassed, but maybe that was just fine. So then we could
That was
also,
hard. It's okay.
I guess it is kind of hard. And then boom. Okay. So I now feel like I understand these two sentences like deeply. So could we already just like at some high level feel that it is impossible for these? So what we've seen is that both of these have models. There's a model of A, and then there are models of A. There are also models of B. Do we feel that it's impossible for there to be a model that makes both of these true? Because, yeah, I feel it already, right? Because A says there's some special person such that everybody loves that person if and only if they love themselves. So then who is that special person? Who will that special person's nemesis be?
Mm, yeah.
If that special person has a nemesis, then
If the nemesis loves themselves, then they can't love the special person. But if they love the special person, they can't love themselves. But then that's bad because the nemesis has to either both love themselves and love the special person, or not love either. But
yeah. Yeah. The special person that must exist by virtue of axiom A has a nemesis by virtue of axiom B. The
yep.
nemesis of the special person in axiom 1, the question is, does that nemesis love himself? Well,
Yeah.
if that nemesis loves himself, then he must, by axiom A, love the special person.
Hmm.
But the special person is his nemesis, so he must feel differently about, he is also a person, so he must feel differently about himself. And yeah. So, okay, so we didn't waste our time because we spent so long on this that we achieved such a deep understanding of these two axioms that now, without even doing any like math, we just can see that it's impossible for these to both be true.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
So now for a proof, you have basically, and this is what I didn't tell the class, for the proof, there are two different styles available. Option 1, like I guess 3. Option 1, like paragraph summarizing what we just said. Option 2 is essentially the same thing, but with just like a little bit more rigor, where you go, I'm just going to do it right now. Ready?
Yeah.
Where you say, okay, suppose A and B are true.
Hmm.
Okay, well, by A there is an object. Call it like little a. Okay, so now what do we know? We know for all y, r, y, x, sorry,
A.
r,
R
y,
Y A.
a, if and only if r, y, y. Cha, cha. But set x equal to a in B. I think that's what we want to do, right? No.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So now we have that there exists a y such that for all z r z y, if and only if not r z a, you can kind of read this.
Yep.
Call it B.
B. Yep.
Okay, so now what we have is that for all z, RZB, if and only if not RZB, but now
RZA.
RZA, in other words, they're nemesis of each other. This is becoming more and more clear as I write this out, right? That A and B
Yeah.
are nemesis. Everyone feels differently about the two of them. Now set Y equal to B in I don't know what to call it. I don't want to call it anything. I'll call this like A prime because it's like the modified A when I added some extra things.
Hmm.
Um, And then what happens now? Well, I get RYB if and only if RBB.
RBA.
No, I think it's BB, right?
No, R in the first one. RBA.
Oh, crap. I was just writing garbage there.
Sometimes garbage must be written.
Okay, yeah. RBA. Yeah. Okay, and now finally stick B in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting lazy. I'm out of space, so I'm just gonna do it. So I have RBB if and only if not RBA.
And then that's pretty clearly.
Two lines are just contradiction.
Yeah.
Or happy face, since the goal was to show that there was a contradiction. So then I guess option 3 for everyone listening at home is if you just love Fitch-style proofs and you want to just do a Fitch-style proof, but your Fitch-style proof is just going to be this exact argument we just made, but just with more rigor. So that seems unnecessary because it's like models, right? So it's like a semantic argument. So I think I even made some cryptic remark like, give a semantic argument. And the in semantic argument means just do what we just do the Fitch-style proof, but skip all the like rules and stuff. Just do what we did, like which is that. Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, good. Woo. Should we give any more hints since everyone's listening at home about how to do like this page? Or do you feel like people can just figure this out?
I think people can figure this out.
Okay.
My only hint is that like you can set A. Please remember that you can set A, and then these work out after that.
Yeah, I think I already said in class that if you think of G as like addition, and you think of A as 0, and you think of your domain as like the integers, then we're all good, right? Integers are associative. 0 is the additive identity element for the integers, and every number has an additive inverse. So that's a good baseline to start with, because that's, so modify the integers in some kind of way, or maybe think about the integers and multiplication or something like that. Yes, Svetlana says, because she figured this out this morning with my help, that when you make a model, you're both picking the domain. So you're choosing what the underlying set is. You're also choosing the meaning of G. So you're deciding whether G is addition or multiplication or some other more exotic operation. And you're choosing the interpretation of A. It's as if what the deep reason for doing this in our logic class is because ultimately, when you write down like the axioms of piano arithmetic, right? 0 is just sort of a symbol that like appears. And if we're taking, Hilbert, very, very seriously, that we don't ever really know what 0 is. It's just an undefined term that appears in the piano axioms. It gets defined implicitly via the axioms themselves. Then taking formalism seriously means that you just have a symbol, and the symbol is meaningless, and you have to sort of interpret the symbol. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Instead of writing 0, I'm just using A, so you don't get any ideas. So A could be 0. The interpretation of A as 0 is the one that makes them all true if your domain is integers and G is addition, but you could feel free to interpret A as something else. And under some other interpretation, maybe one of these would be false. Actually, the one that I think is hardest is the one that you didn't seem to have trouble with. It's hard making associativity false.
I think that's easy.
That's easy. What you do? Oh, like just
division and real numbers without 0.
Or subtraction or some crap like that. Yeah, okay, so maybe that's not so hard. All right. Woo! Good. Anything else you need to say?
Not for logic. Everything else is like, can we make a list of...
Okay, so bye people watching at home. All right, good. That was a loose end of mine that I wanted to help people with this.
Nice.
So a geometry